Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing great. It's always a treat, sir, to start a new scenario with you. But
Yeah, same here.
yeah,
Same here.
yeah,
This is going to be an interesting one, I
it
think.
is. And I think I should probably admit right up front, and I think you are as well. I'm in the middle of Stephen Sears' book, The Landscape Turned Red. Got a little picture of it probably appearing right about now. And I'm trying to read it to keep up with the scenarios as we go on. So this is and I'm right at this part right now with the uh, the General Order 191 has just been discovered, and
Yep, yep.
the young Napoleon has just shaken it in his fist, saying, "If I with this note, if I can't whip Bobby Lee, I'll just go home." And so now we got the poor guys in Harper's Ferry sweating it out, and that's where we set our stage here today with scenario number two. Harper's Ferry in Crampton's Gap, I guess, is the
Yeah.
official name of it. So welcome to anybody watching this after the fact. This is a four-turn affair today, but it's a real small one. It's a very small. It's a big footprint, but it's a small counter density, and I think it's probably going to go a lot faster than we expect. How you doing? What's new, sir?
Oh, not a whole lot new. Doing well.
I think what we'll do here, as we do, we're getting back into scenario mode. It's been so long, and I will point out, I want to thank everybody that watched and made the last video the most viewed video right out of the gate that we've done for this whole setup. I think in one day we had almost 200 views of the back-to-back playthrough of South Mountain. So thank you very much for that. We really appreciate all that. We got some comments in there, very supportive, and especially the folks that are using it as their entry to the system. I hope you will continue along with us through all the scenarios here for Here Come the Rebels. I think you will enjoy it. But what we're doing today is Harper's Ferry, Crampton's Gap. This scenario simulates the Confederate attack against the Union stronghold at Harper's Ferry, which we see here, and the attempt by the Union's 6th Corps to relieve the beleaguered garrison by forcing a passage through the weak Confederate positions in Crampton's Gap and in the South Mountain Range. And this is our setup here. I've got the 6th Corps down here under Franklin. He is, good buddies with McClellan, and he has been assigned to go and relieve the beleaguered Harper's Ferry, as they said. They are well entrenched there at Harper's Ferry. We got some railroad units that are currently digging in. They're not quite there yet, but we've got Ford up on the Maryland Heights. He is dug into breastworks 2. And then we've got Ward right there, fully ensconced at a fort level 3. And off to the northwest, we see. So this is September 12th through. This is a 4-day affair. So September 12th through the 16th. This will be slightly before the South Mountain scenario that we did last week, and it will carry into the next day or a couple days after that. And we see Jackson has crossed over at Williamsport, and he is making his way towards Martinsburg, much to the alarm of White and the Shenandoah boys there. So in this four-turn scenario, we'll go through the victory point schedule here in a little bit, but we see that there are a couple of victory point locations that are highlighted. We got Sharpsburg up here, which is the key for the Confederates. There's a big blue border around it there, and Boonesboro, and a couple other things, which we'll talk about momentarily when we go through the special scenario rules for this. But we can see there's a weak Confederate force up there. While there's no leadership because Longstreet is up at Hagerstown there with Lee. So we've got all of these individual little divisions and brigades kind of trying to hold the passes on the southern end. So this is the southern part of what we did with South Mountain last time, and it was just off stage to the south, but that's what we're going to be doing here today. Walker down there at the Potomac River, and we know historically he will be making his way over towards Loudoun Heights as well. So historically what happened here was Stonewall did completely surround and eventually force the surrender of Harper's Ferry, and he did that by capturing Maryland's Heights, the Bolivar Heights, and the Loudoun Heights, and just bringing the guns raining down upon the poor guys down in Harper's Ferry, and eventually they forced a surrender, and then he was able to do that in such a timetable that he eventually moved up and prepared his arrival at Sharpsburg. And that's exactly what the scenario is doing here today. I had to go back through the victory point schedule and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of victory points the Confederates need to get, but there's a reason for that. So what are your opening thoughts on this before we delve into the specifics?
I went back and looked at the original scenario from the first game, and they've changed this quite a bit. They've added the whole victory points around Sharpsburg got added, which really makes this historical. I mean, Jackson has to get down there. He has to take both, and you'll talk about this, get both depots and then get back to Sharpsburg to win. And I think this is going to be not easy. I don't really have I mean, I know what I need to do, but how to get it done? I'm assuming you're going to try to stop me. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't think I've ever done this. I know I've never done this scenario with these victory point conditions.
Right. This will be the first time for me as well with the new modifications. So this is great. I think we're coming at it fresh. But I had to look at that victory point schedule 3 times, going, "There's just no way for the Confederates." And then I realized, oh, you got to read closer, and it is certainly possible. But what they've done,
I've had to build a spreadsheet for it.
I knew it. I knew you would. I knew you would.
I can't put all the pieces together to get up to the point total.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to utilizing that.
Lots of pieces.
Yes. Well, let's talk about the special rules here, because then that will give us some credence as to why and how they've managed to replicate the historical nature of it, because there was a gaming aspect of it, I think, in the original edition where you could just go ignore something and force a surrender and do whatever. But now I think they're trying to articulate the requirement, the necessity that historically Jackson did have to take that. That was his part of the General Order 191, and then get up to be ready to assist at Sharpsburg to help assemble with the rest of Longstreet's forces. But let's take the special rules in turn. On turn 1 here, I am playing the Union in this first playthrough, and I will get 2 free activations right off the top. But, of course, as they do, I cannot use them to activate any of the 6th Corps. So that means none of Franklin's 2 divisions there with him, Smith, Slocum, nor Couch down there. And, of course, I'm glad I caught that because I was already working a scheme. But the 6th Pennsylvania Cav I can move there. I can move the 8th New York. Obviously, I can move any of the Harper's Ferry, but I probably don't want to because they are dug in. So that probably means that White and 12th Illinois may get the benefit of those opening moves as they scatter ahead of the approaching Jackson's Corps. So my movement restrictions as the Union, as I mentioned, I cannot move any of the 6th Corps for the first. I can also never move, and it's got a not released marker on here, I can never move Ward for the entirety of the game. He is just dug in. That is his job, is just to sit there and take it. The 6th or the 6th Pennsylvania, I cannot cross the Potomac at any way, shape, or form. So that's another gamey tactic that is taken off the table. So they are forced to historically stay probably along the C&O Canal, but they want them to come up and actually approach Crampton's Gap. They can't just cross into Loudoun County. And I've got the markers up here, and thank you again to Alberto for putting those into the scenario design here for Vassal. These large blue surroundings around Sharpsburg, that's a 2 hex around Sharpsburg, and then 1 hex around Boonesboro. Those are off limits to the Union players specifically. The Confederate can go in there without any problem. And then this one around Mountain House, the 1 hex around Turner's Gap, that is off limits to both sides, so neither Roger nor I can move units, move or retreat into any of those hexes. Those are completely off limits to help simulate the historic nature of this. Your Confederate movement restrictions, you can't entrench. That's not going to happen at all. I already mentioned the Mountain House one, so you can't go within 1 hex of that. And Stuart and Hampton are locked here for turn 1. However, if I do get a unit within 1 hex of them, that is released. So that gives me something to consider. Probably the only unit that is likely to get up there in turn 1 may be a cavalry, and why would I send a cavalry after Stuart? That's just foolhardy. Alright, Harper's Ferry. We are playing a basic scenario here, but we are using the Harper's Ferry surrender rule. So we're going to be adding the surrender phase for Harper's Ferry to this. That takes place at the beginning of each turn. So theoretically, we would do it here in turn 1, but There are no Confederate forces surrounding, so there's nothing going to happen in turn 1 for that. But in subsequent turns, before we even get to the leader transfers, we will check to see if Harper's Ferry is forced to surrender. There are 2 Union supply depots. There's one at Harper's Ferry, which we see here. It's on the map. If I had the units there, it's down there underneath those 2. And there's one under white, and you can see kind of the blue arrows around it. So there's one at Martinsburg. There is one at Harper's Ferry. And finally, the Harper's Ferry Bridge here between the Naval Battery and Harper's Ferry proper. I cannot burn it. So there's no gaminess on that one to prevent the Confederates from coming from Maryland Heights that way. It is a permanent bridge because it's reinforced railroad, so it's not going anywhere. So with all of that being said, let's talk about the victory points here. For the Confederates, they are the ones trying to get the points today. They need 80 points. And you're saying, 80 points? Good gosh, that's a lot. Yes, that is quite a lot for a basic scenario. But it comes in a few different ways. So just going down through them, Harper's Ferry, the Union depot there, is, if it's destroyed, that's worth 3 points. And if the Martinsburg depot is destroyed, that's 2 points. That's 5 points. That's a long way to go from that, certainly. However, once those things are accomplished, then that 5 points will be added to by, for all Confederate divisions and brigades, and there are, I believe, 8 or 9 of them in the game totally. I'm sure you've got it, as you said, on your spreadsheet. At the end of the game, there's 8. Okay, so if there's...
I would love for there to be 9, but there's only 8.
So at the end of the game, if they are within, they have to be in or adjacent to Sharpsburg. So they got to be within 1 hex here. For each one of them that are undemoralized and there, that is worth 8 points per. So that is 64 potential points there. So if you add that to the 5, that gets you to 69 points for the Confederates. If they are demoralized, but they're there, then they're only worth 2 points each instead of 6. So that is that's the cautionary part. You want to use them, but you don't want them to be demoralized when they get there. There are negative points for those self-same units that don't have that are not within 20 hexes. I don't think that's going to be a factor here, but if they were to get completely routed away from Sharpsburg and they're not within 20 hexes, or Winchester or Berryville or Leesburg, and they cannot enter a Union unit or a Union zone of control unless there's a Confederate already in the zone of control. If that were to happen, each one of those that meet that condition would be minus 4 points. I don't think that's going to be much of a factor here, but things have a way of happening.
Well, the concern there on my end is the small brigades. If they get destroyed, you get the negative 4.
Correct. Yes, that's right.
The manpower loss.
And it specifically mentions them at start. So if I were to completely destroy a unit, yes, they would not meet that condition, and they would be negative 4 points. My Battle Cat has arrived and made her presence known here. She says hello.
Yeah. I muted my side because my dog is barking.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
The pets know that we're playing. And this one is a +2, -2 for Union and Confederate manpower, which is a little different than last time, which was +1 and -1, specifically in lost in combat or retreat, but not in forced marching or extended marching. There's a +1 instead for the railroad forces, so those are worth slightly less for the Confederate player. Instead of 2 points per manpower loss, they are only 1 point. And then if Rogers' Confederate forces manage to completely cause any units within that are trapped in Harper's Ferry, for each manpower that is lost there, that is 1 victory point per manpower step that is lost. So there are a bunch of points on the table, but there's no way, I mean, Roger, you can't get them all specifically by just foregoing Harper's Ferry and just going right to Sharpsburg. That would be the gamey tactic, but you can't. I mean, there's just not enough final points for you to do that.
I'll just clarify, I have to destroy the depots at Harper's Ferry and Martinsburg to get the points at Sharpsburg.
Oh, that's right.
So I have to do that first. Yep. That's where it's like, okay, like I said, I can't really game this. I've got to play it out. I've got to get Harper's Ferry done before I can run back.
And that posits an
Uh,
interesting strategic question for the Union is how long do you try to hold out with Martinsburg? Or do
right.
you just let them have it and then use those forces otherwise? So that has weighed heavily on my mind this week is like, just walk away. And historically, that's what White did. He ran to Harper's Ferry and said, they're
Mhm.
coming. So that may not necessarily be a bad thing because those three manpower could make a difference for setting up the defense of Harper's Ferry.
Yep. Yeah, I'm interested to see how you decided to handle that.
Well, I'm crazy. Fight to the death. No.
Yeah.
So that is it. With all of that being said, the threshold for a marginal Confederate is 80 points, and I think this is a good one. I mean, this is a great scenario because again, it's a very large map footprint, but it's a small counter density. So even when I saw it's 4 turns, there's going to be a very quick 4 turns. But there are some interesting decisions to be made as far as, like we just pointed out, what happens to the Martinsburg garrison? Do they bug out and do a fighting retreat? What does the Sixth Corps do? Do they try to go in and just help Harper's Ferry, or do they actually try to go for some points, attacking the individual, exhausted, mind you, divisions and brigades up there in South Mountain? So there are some great choices. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
So am I.
Okay, well, good.
Quick, I guess, make sure I understand on the Union forts. Harper's Ferry is an existing fort in 62. So that means you have an additional combat value of 2 and artillery value of 1 in Harper's Ferry. Oh, wait. Oh, it does mention it. Sorry, my bad. Special rule number 4 for the
Oh yeah,
scenario.
it's a Union
Last
fort. Yep.
sentence. Also, Harper's Ferry is Union fort, so all
There you
rules
go.
of this
Okay,
rules
so
of Union
basically,
forts apply.
yeah, Harper's Ferry is a 9 for the manpower fort, plus the intrinsic of what, 2? You said 2 and some.
Two and a artillery value of 1.
Okay, so that's a little extra, which that's another decision that has come up, or at least a tactical decision, I guess, in this case, where does Stonewall go in there and try to whip them directly in combat, or does he set
Yeah.
up the surround and just try to take the heights and everything and force the surrender on a die roll? That's your timetable question. Do you do it
Yep.
yourself with
Yep.
manpower losses possibly, or do you just try to use the game to say it's gonna happen? It's up to a die roll. So
And thankfully, the naval battery fort has not been built yet, so that's not in play.
yeah,
Because that would be a real problem. Okay, I think I understand what I need to do.
good deal. Well, I have no idea what I'm going to
Maybe.
do, so I think we're on equal footing there. Well, on this one, we
See what I
could do
got.
leader transfers. Obviously, I'm not going to move Franklin off the 6, so I have no leader transfers. Would you like to move Stonewall? Theoretically, you could do it on the first movement activation. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'll wait for that. See how you decide to play Martinsburg. I think
sure.
is
Okay, well then,
so. Nope.
double check to see if there's anything else we missed. Otherwise, I will wish you good luck on this one, sir.
Nope. Good luck to you as well.
And I will take my first 2 free activations, and I believe I will activate White. And so the question has already been answered. He is going to march away from Martinsburg with
Okay.
his movement of just a straight die roll, d6. So we started it last week with a 1, so I will continue to start with a 1. So that being the case, White has moved out. I get the next free activation, and that changes my plan a little bit. I think I have to take White to 2 now because he did not make enough miles, and I'm going to roll again, and
Oh,
it continues. Hooray! So we'll go into
just keep on coming.
Opaquan Station. That is my free 2 initiatives. I will now roll my initiative 4. Okay.
One,
All right.
yours. Now you're free to move
I am
Franklin.
free to
Right
move
now you can
everybody.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I will move. First, I'm going to move Couch. So I'm going to activate Couch to fatigue level 1. I'm going to give him a move of straight up 5. That's great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and get there. He's still within 3, so that's good. All right. Initiative. Ooh, 6.
Probably gonna be yours again. Yep.
All right. Now I will activate Smith, Couch, and Slocum. You'll all get a fatigue. Franklin will activate them. Here's +1 to this die roll. It's a 3. Alright, so Couch will go 1, 2, 3. And we'll have Smith carry Franklin 1, 2, and 3. And we'll have Slocum go 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Initiative 4.
4. So that's mine. Okay. I got these guys one time. I think the first thing I need to do is try to block Weaverton. So I'm going to activate Sims for that job. So he's going to go to fatigue 1. He gets 1 die +1. He can go 5 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He doesn't quite get there.
That is an effective block, however.
Yep. Knit 5.
1.
1. That's mine again. Take Munford's cavalry to fatigue 1. He gets 2 dice for movement. First die, second die. Oh, good grief. He can go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't even get to St. Mark's Church. He knit 6.
2.
2. Take Munford to fatigue 2. No extended die roll needed. First die, second die. 10, 11 for him. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could take a shorter route to get to the same spot. Doesn't matter.
The scenic route.
Tuck him in behind the bridge there. Knit 3,
6.
6. I know it's yours.
I will have Franklin activate Smith and Slocum. And Couch. Might as well march them all. Alright, Couch will have an extended march. Here's their movement +1. 5. So Couch will go first. His extended march is +1 to this. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to there. Take Smith. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Slocum, I think, will just go. He's got to stay in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to there. Okay. Initiative. 2.
1. Yours again. Okay. Now, Franklin can't cross the Potomac.
No, he
correct?
cannot, sadly.
Okay, so Walker's not in any danger. Okay. Probably would be crossing the Potomac.
Alright, we're going to have the 12th Illinois Cavalry activate. So here's their 2 dice. 8. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to Kearneysville. Initiative. 3.
3. That's mine. Take Kershaw to fatigue 1. His movement 1 die +1. Oh, 7. Nice. Okay, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to there. Initiative 4.
1.
Kershaw to fatigue 2. So he'll need an extended die roll. Here's his movement. He has a movement of 3. Here's his extended die roll. He's okay. He's going to go 1, 2 to there. What would the 8th New York like to do?
Well, we're sitting in a mountain, and if I've learned anything from you, let's see. So it would be a hasty mountains. That's -3, but you're a +5, +3. Oof, yeah. Those, those, those polo boys are not a stand-up fight, so we're going to add and flip. We're going to attempt to a cavalry retreat. And they get, let's see, 2 for the mountain, +4, but they're a small force, so that is just a straight roll, basically, offset. So that you will lose that last movement
Yep.
point, and they'll go 1,
Yep.
2, 3, and 4 to Solomon's Gap.
4. It's
6,
yours.
okay. Move the 6 Pennsylvania. Here is their movement. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Initiative. 5.
5. It's mine. Okay, we'll take McClaws to fatigue 1. It's his movement. 1 die +1. And 1, 2 to their initiative. 5.
3.
Okay, take McClaws to fatigue 2. He needs to roll for extended march. Here's his movement. 1 die +1. It's a 3. Useless. Extended march, he's okay.
Alright, so the 8th New York boys have an option here. And they will do a cav retreat. So, take another fatigue. They're a very small force now. So, let's check that. Cav retreat. They're -4. But we got the mountain, so it's a -2.
That's a -2.
Yeah,
Yep,
-2 to
-2.
this roll. So just a 1, which does nothing to you. And 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll go into Sandy Hook there with his fifth one. Okay.
So he didn't lose any. So he has 3. He still has 3 left. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 4.
6.
6. That's yours.
All right. 8th New York will go to 3. Here's their movement. 7. Here's their extended march. I believe they are okay.
Mm-hmm.
They will just join forward there. All right. Initiative 4.
3. Yours again.
We'll have Franklin activate couch to 4. And here is his movement of +1. It's a 6. Here's his extended march now of +2. He's okay. So he'll go to there. What would Munford like to do?
Yeah, he's going to cav retreat from there. Disorganization. Picks up another fatigue. Here's his attempt. It's a 3. +2 for the river.
And then
5.
-2 for small. Yeah.
-2 for small, which takes it back to 3. So you lose 2 more points?
It's rounded down, so it's a 1.5 becomes just a 1.
Okay. Yeah, okay, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Weaverton.
So I had 6 total. I used 1. I lost 1. So that means I've got 4 left. It will go 1, 2, 3, and 4 to St. Mark's Church.
Okay.
Initiative 6.
Gotta tie it. Don't, Jarvis.
Franklin will activate Slocum and Smith to 2, or to 3 rather. So activate them to 3. Here's their movement +1. It is 6. We have extended marches for both. Smith will go first. Extended march of +1. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. And Slocum's extend +1. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Initiative 2.
4. Take Anderson to Teague. 1. There's his movement. Go 6 hexes. He's just going to go to Crampton's Gap. Initiative 4.
4.
Jackson's going to activate everybody that he has up there for infantry. Go to T1. Move it 1 die +2. 8.
Uh-oh.
Very nice.
Always with the foot cavalry.
J.R. Jones is going to go first. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to there.
It will give you some victory points.
That's right. I just had to stop out. Just had to go through Martinsburg. Jackson and AP Hill are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How did I know? How did I know?
Okay, so he's got enough for a normal attack. Yeah, I think this needs to happen now. So he'll make a normal attack. So that's going to be so it's 10 to 3, it's 3 to 1, so +2 for ratio, I should say. You're a 1 to a 4, so +3 for tactical. Artillery, I have 4 guns to your 1, so that's no effect. Final flank, I have all 6 hexes covered, but several of these are going to come off.
Actually, you don't have 15-15 covered.
Right, I don't have 15-15 covered because I don't have a bridge in there. So I have 3 hexes. I have 4 hexes covered for +3.
You've got 5 covered.
5 for +3, and then 2 come off.
Right.
So it's a +1 final flank.
No, 5 hexes is +2, and then 14, 13, and 15, 13 will come off because there's no bridge. It's impassable. So there is no flank, essentially. It's +2, -2. Here's what's covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that gives you a +2. And then these 2 will be subtracted out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm being slow.
That's okay.
Yep.
We get to use the new technology.
So the final is a +5.
So you got tactical, you got ratio. Yep. So +5.
Okay. Here's my
Come
attack.
on, White. Oh.
So 6.
Ah.
Oh, wow. Brutal.
6-1 split every time. So it's a
That's a
+10.
10.
So
That wipes him out.
3 DR. Yep. So there's 3 points for that. There you go. Wow. White didn't even get back to Harper's Ferry to tell him that stone walls are coming.
Walton still has to move.
Right.
Jackson used everything to get to where he is. So Lawton still has 8 hexes to go. Yeah, he might as well just fall right down the road. 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. He doesn't have enough to get into Jones's hex. And do I want to do anything else? A different way? Yeah, I think I will go 1 more hex to here.
I guess in some small measure, I'm glad that 6-1 was on the Shenandoah forces. We know their time is limited anyway.
Okay, initiative. Here's my roll. 6. 6. Okay, that's mine on a tie. I think I need to press ahead here. So Jackson's going to activate all 3 of his guys to fatigue 2. Actually, before I do that, let's take the 7th Virginia to fatigue 1. Here's his movement. First die, second die, 4 + 1 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit. 1,
Yours.
1. Well, might as well let him recover. So Jackson will activate Jones, Lawton, and AP Hill, so they'll all need extend marches. 1 die plus 2. 5. Here's Lawton. Go first. Here's his extend march. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. What would the Illinois Cav like to do? I have one movement point remaining.
Yeah, we'll take the opportunity to get out now. So they'll flip. They are a 1, so it's a -2 to this roll. And of course, they are gone. So I will give you +2 for that one.
He had 1 movement point remaining. He's going to go down to Traveler's Rest. Here's AP Hills extend. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And GR Jones extend. He is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Kearneysville. Initiative. 3.
3.
3, mine again. Let's take the 7th Virginia to fatigue 2. He'll have to extend die roll. So here's his movement. 1 die, 2nd die. He can go 7. He can go 8 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Initiative. 1.
A 4.
4. This one's yours.
Let's see. Let me look over things here. Yeah, I'll move the 6 Pennsylvania. There's 2 dice for them. 11. They will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. There. Initiative. 5.
3. It's yours.
I don't believe I have any other forces at the moment, so I am going to pass.
Okay. We'll take Walker to fatigue 1. Here's his movement. You can go 5 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. 1.
4. I will pass again and let Walker take his rambling route.
Increased Walker to 2. Here's his movement. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. 4.
6.
6. Yours again.
Pass again.
I'll take Walker to fatigue 3. His movement. 1 die plus 1. You can go 6. Extend march. 4. He's okay. 26, 21, which is
Northeastern one of
that
Loudon.
one.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I need I rolled up
6. Yeah, you can get there.
6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just enough to get there. Initiative. 1 again. Wow.
4. I'm going to pass.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to take Kershaw to fatigue 3, but I'm going to.
I figured that was going to be a hard choice for you. Yeah.
Putting it off and thinking, kind of wanted you to move him, but you're obviously now committed to not moving him.
Right.
So here we go. I'll roll for movement, which is a good idea because that's a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the extend march is a 4, so he's okay. So if he goes 1 to there, he would have 6 remaining. So Kershaw's going to stop there. I'm not going to make the attack. I don't need to at this point. So he's going to stop there. Knit. 1 again. Wow. 1's for Knit.
6. I
There's
will.
No 6 split.
Yeah. Too late. Pass.
Okay.
Luckily, we've got all of our forces concentrated now. I don't have to zoom or pan the map at all anymore. We're good. This is it.
I'll take the 7th Virginia to fatigue 3. So here's his movement roll. First die, second die. So he can go 9, he can go 10 hexes. Extended die roll. 4 plus 1 or 2. 1 for him, right? He's okay. He can go 10 hexes. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 to there. He's going to stop there. Init 6.
6 also?
I just need zone of control, correct? To cut the supply.
That is correct.
Okay. So yeah, Jackson will take all 3 of his guys to fatigue 3. Here's their movement. So the movement is a 6. Lawton will go first. Here's his extend die roll. It's a 2. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. EP Hill with Jackson will go next. Here's his extend die roll. He's okay.
You are under a charmed star, my friend.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. DR Jones extend march. 5, and that is a +1.
Mhm.
So he does flip to disorganized. Move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think about what I want to do next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Unionville. Initiative 4.
4.
4. I think this is worth a shot. Might not be, but I feel the time pressure here. So AP Hill is going to attempt to, with Jackson, a core assault on the Tassie.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the attempt. 5. It just barely comes off. So this is 10 to 4. So the ratio is 2 to 1. So the ratio is a +1. The type is a +1. Tactical is a +3. There is no flank. Artillery is, I have a +3 artillery, so it does now affect. There's no flank. There is, however, a creek for a -1. So it's 5 up and 1 down for a final of a +4.
Okay.
Is that what you see?
Let's see. We got ratios 1, type is 1, tactical's 3, creek is -1. Yep. So 5 up, 1 down, +4. Oh, I'm on a hill. I'm on a hill, so it's a -1 for that.
Are you on a hill?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So it's a -1 for hill. So final's a +3. I think it's worth it if I can get you out of there.
Yeah, for a couple
So here we go.
couple of reasons. Yep. Go ahead.
Uh, Here's my roll. It's a 4.
Come on, you need big 6. Big 6. Nope. All right, it's a
So
+5.
that's +5.
So that is going to be a DR. 1 DR for me.
Okay. And for me, I'm a
And I will give you another,
non-AOP.
yeah, non-AOP manpower loss. It will go 1 to there, 2 to there, 3 to there, and 4 and 5 to there.
And we will take the Bolivar Heights hex. Oop, Jackson rides up by himself.
That sounds like something he would do, yes.
Yeah,
Follow
it
me!
does. Okay. Um, okay, initiative 5.
2.
2. I'm going to pass.
Well, I had a plan, but it did not survive first contact with the enemy, of course. So right now, if we're looking at it, you do have a full surround because I've got Trimble there, which sneaks it through, but then it runs into the 7th VA.
Now, if you would have stopped the Tassie,
If I had stopped him at 22, 23,
you're welcome to back him up if you
sure, I
want
think
to.
that might be, yeah, that might be the thing to do, just to keep that line of communication open. But let's see here. Path may not enter unless it's occupied by a Union unit. Yeah, so yeah, I would stop Dutasse there for that reason. A,
That's annoying.
a lifeline. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to keep playing then,
Okay.
I
All right.
guess. So I'm going to take Lawton of Fatigue 4. This might all bite me in the behind.
Oh boy. Oh boy, I hope so.
There's this movement, 1 die plus 2. You can go 7 hexes.
Yeah, that will
Here's
probably
his extend die roll. It's a 4 plus 3.
So he's just going to flip.
He's just going to go to disorganize. You can go 7 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to chart. That's exactly where I needed him to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Now that traps the garrison.
That will indeed trap the garrison.
He's not going to attack the Tassie. No need. Okay. Initiative. 1, 6.
6 is at the wrong time.
Glad I didn't attack the Tassie.
Yeah.
Good call on my part.
You know what? I'm a gambling man. So, Dutasse will march. Here's his roll. 4. What would the 7th Virginia like to do?
We'll stand.
Of course you will. All right. So, it would be a +1 for prepared. My attack value is a 1 because I'm demoralized. So, there's no ratio bonus on that. And there's no creek or anything in the way. And you have no artillery, so it would just be a +1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do a +1 attack prepared from Dutasse into 7th Virginia, fighting his way out, trying to open a supply line. Here we go. There's a 6.
5. It's +2.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so he flips. Disorganized, yeah. And that's, he gets another fatigue. And he has to retreat 2 hexes. So he has to take the road. 1, 2 to there.
That didn't help at all. There you go. Okay, so you still got me surrounded. Well done, sir. All right. And I had a +2 on that. Did I suffer anything for mine? No.
No, I don't think so.
Just D'd out. Okay. Well, initiative 5.
2. Yours again.
I'll pass. It is neat to see that there are really 2 acts to this. The first act is the Harper's Ferry. The second act seems to be Crampton's Gap and Franklin's attempt.
So I am going to activate Parham. Huge gamble. Movement. He can go 6 hexes. He just needs to go 1, 2 to close the valley. That closes Pleasant Valley, but does open up Brownsville Gap. So I'm going to stop because I think now I've got everybody in a box, as you like to say.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the initiative. It's a 6. I'm going to pass.
I will pass also.
Okay.
So let's do our recover in the sunshine. Everyone has recovered. And we move on to September 13th, turn 2 of 4. So turn 2 is now upon us, and we add a new wrinkle. We have the Harper's Ferry surrender phase, potentially.
So Harper's Ferry phase. So I think I rolled 2 dice.
You're going to roll 2 dice, and you're going to add 5 because you get +3 for the naval battery, which sadly I could do nothing but let you have that. Walker's in place for another +1, and then Jackson took Bolivar Heights. So +5 to your roll. You do need a 12 or better, so
Here's
7 on 2 dice.
Ferry roll. First dice. 5, pretty good chance. Second dice.
Ooh,
no!
We hold out with our hardtack. I never thought I'd be so excited about a roll.
Oh, man. So close.
It was.
Well, that kind of destroys everything I did on that first turn.
That timetable is now completely askew, and that is historically what happened, I think, coming out of Williamsport. Jackson was actually delayed by more than a day from what he expected. Yep. It's the new life of the old girl yet.
The gamble of pushing everybody as hard as I did.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we will move on to our leader transfer phase. I believe I'm going to... Franklin will stay with Smith.
What do I want to do with General Jackson? Well, he may as well stay put. So I have no leader transfers.
Okay. Well, then we move on to our first initiative, turn 2. And here's mine. 2.
2. Mine. Well, I think the first order of business is to reinforce Bronzeville Gap, so Arm's going to go back to where he was. Here's his movement. 3. 1, 2 to there. Initiative. 4.
3.
Stewart will take Hampton to fatigue. 1. I'm not going to roll for movement because he's just going to do a min move on top of Parham. Go into the mountains there. Knit. 6.
2.
We'll take J.R. Jones to fatigue. 1. Here's his movement by Jackson, so +2. He can go 7. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to there. Initiative. 1. Yours.
Franklin will activate Smith and Couch. Couch will have an extended march. So here's their movement of +1. So it's 5. Franklin and Smith will go 3, 4 to there. And Couch will have an extended march of +1. He's okay. And he'll go 1 and additional 3 to there. Initiative. 5.
6. Yeah, Sims will go to fatigue 1. He'll roll for movement. Go 6 hexes. He's just gonna go 1, 2 to there. Initiative. 5.
3.
3. Well, Franklin's knocking on the door. I think I need to do this now. Jackson's going to attempt a core assault on Ward. He doesn't have to bring in J.R. Jones, but I want the artillery. So we will bring in Hill and J.R. Jones, attempt the assault on Harper's Ferry. Here's the attempt. It comes off and both units come in.
They do.
So this is going to be a type of a +1. The ratio is I have 15 to your 9.
Plus my 2 for the fort, so 11.
Plus 2 for 11, so it's covered. So there's no ratio. The tactical, I have Jackson with 4, and Ward is a 1, so that's a +3 for tactical.
Mm-hmm.
By bringing in both guns, I now have 8 guns to your 3 + 1 is 4 for the fort.
Mm-hmm.
So that's +4, so there's no artillery. The final flank is going to be, I think, 0. I have Only 3 hexes covered, because...
Well, let's go through it for the home audience here. We got
Yeah, let's go through
that's
it.
that, 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 and that. So you've got all sixes covered, uh, and most of them are going to come off because of the rivers. So you always get an intrinsic +1 on a full surround. So you'll get the +1.
Oh, okay. 2520 and 2522 are covered, so it's a +1 flank.
Yeah, just remember that they're separated. They're impassable to the defender, so that counts toward the flank, and then it comes off in phase two.
Okay,
Because
that's always a
Walker
good thing.
extends in there either way, but yeah, but it's if it starts impassable, then it's going to count towards the covering, and then in the second phase, for you new players out there, it will come off. And then
Okay,
if it would reduce it all the way to 0 on a 6 hex around, you always at least get a +1, sort of as a pittance.
okay. So I see 5 up and no down for final of +5.
Oh, this could be ugly.
Okay, so here's the attack roll. 5.
Here's the defense. So it's a +8.
It's only a 3, so it's going to be 2 DR.
Okay.
An asterisk.
Okay, so we've added 2 more. And now there's a problematic retreat because Ward has to go through Trimble. Now, that's a good question. I was thinking about that in our. I'm surprised it did not come up in our retreat. The way I understand the overriding of the retreat priority, so in that lower right hand corner of the chart, it can override the retreat priority. Does that mean it overrides the the type, or does it override the manpower loss because of it? Right. So in this case, I would, instead of using the uh, the the second 4, I would override it to the the 3, which is not into a hex, more distant from active unit, uh, but it would be the left of the slash because I'm going into a friendly territory. Oh, it's the star. Yeah. So oh, this one. See the oh, look at that. That's the big difference. The number to the left of the slash for the little cross there does not indicate a friendly, whereas the dot does. That's a big difference. Uh, so even if I were to override with number 3 in this case, I would still be on the right side of the slash. Oh, actually, there's a road there, isn't there? Yeah, there's a road. So, okay. So I would avoid that loss if I went into there, because I'm overriding for the elimination to avoid the elimination, and
Mm-hmm.
then I go 2, 3, and then 4 to there. Does that seem logical to you, sir?
Yeah, I was thinking you needed to go follow the railroad, but yeah,
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, yeah. Either way, yeah.
there's no there's no difference between those two. You're moving further away in
And
either
there's a
case.
right, right, right. Okay. So yes, they
So
do avoid
yeah,
ultimate elimination because I've overridden it to from a 4 down to a 3. So hooray for reading! Yay!
that's complicated. I will say that.
It can
And
be, and you're going to advance, and
yes, and we'll take J.R. Jones. Actually, will advance, but I have to do a railroad. I think I have to do a burn. So I have to move in, and I have to burn the railroad action. Jackson's
okay,
going to stay on top of AP Hill,
okay,
and J.R. Jones is going to go in there. So yes, I've taken Harper's Ferry, but I haven't destroyed the depot yet.
okay. Well,
Okay.
I was pretty successful. I mean, there are for those of you watching this who've never played the scenario, there are 2 ways to crack that egg. You can do a surrender the subtle way with generous terms for throwing down your weapons and handing over all your hardtack, or Stonewall Jackson's way.
So you lost 2 more manpower, and your total manpower losses now are
I
6.
did. Yeah. It's for them. It's 6 points for the
Yeah.
Railroad Shenandoah folk.
Okay. Okay. Good. That changes what I now need to start trying to do a little bit.
Hmm.
Because now I gotta get
The
guys
blunt hammer effect.
home. Run home. Initiative 6.
Well, that will certainly let you do it.
Yeah, okay. I've got Sims in a box, don't I? Now I'm gonna take Sims to fatigue 2, and he can just do a min move 28-20. Knit 5,
Two.
2. I'll take him to fatigue 3. It'd be interesting to see if anybody else would have thought me leaving him there and letting you attack him and letting the retreat move him out of the way would have been a smarter way than
That's
actually
so
moving him.
gamey, though, Roger.
I know. Well, somebody did that to me the other day. Kind of a strategic victory despite the loss by the. But here's his movement. He can go 4 hexes. Here's his extended die roll. He's okay. So this is 1-2, and I don't think he can get into the mountain hex, can he?
It's going to be a +3 plus the movement,
Yeah,
so 4. Yeah, 4
yeah,
total to get in there.
4. So and he's already used 2, so he only has 2 left, so he can't get in there. So he'll stay there. Knit 3,
1.
1. You're gonna have to move to get to him now. Well, let's take Sims to fatigue 4. Here's his movement. 1 die +1. 2, extend die roll is a 1. He's okay, and he's just gonna do a min move to Kershaw. Initiative 1. It's definitely yours.
Franklin will activate Slocum. And here's his movement +1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. What would Munford like to do?
So you have 1 movement point left.
I do.
So it'd be a hasty, but it's like
20 to 1.
+19.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll cav retreat out of there. Here's his attempt. He dies.
Okay. At least we're even on that.
So that's my first Confederate manpower loss.
Okay, so we'll do 1 for that. All right. So no effect on him, and that means he has 1 left. So he will take that. Initiative.
3. That's mine. Okay. So Slocum's at fatigue 1. Couch and Smith are at fatigue 1. Take Walker to fatigue 1. There's his movement. 1 die +1. You can go 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 3.
2.
2. Mine again. I'll take Walker to fatigue 2. He'll need an extended die roll. Go 7 hexes. Here's his extend. He's going to go 1, 2 to there, which means he has 5 remaining. The 7th cav does control 22, 21, 21, 22, don't they?
They do.
And that's half of 2 is 25%, so that's enough to get a +2. So yeah, Walker's going to do a prepared assault on the Tassie. So the type's going to be a +1. Tactical is +2. Ratio is going to be 5 to 2 for a +1. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes covered for a +2 flank. Your artillery doesn't come into play. There's no terrain, so it's 6 up, none down for final of +6.
Okay.
Here's the attack roll. Oh,
So you're sitting at a 7 right now. +2.
+2.
D me out. And they will go.
Ease me out as well.
Does that cost you a manpower, though? It does
No,
not.
I'm a 5.
Okay. Well, that's something. So Dutassi will go 1 to there. 2 to there.
You used to have to do 2 hexes, right?
So,
Yeah, see.
so I can go 2 more if I wish. I will go. Let's see. I'm free at this point to do uh, priority 2. So I will go 3 and 4.
Okay. Well, that was unfortunate.
But you can take the hex if you like.
Yes, I will take the hex. Initiative 2.
2.
Well, we'll take J.R. Jones to fatigue 3, and we will burn the depot.
Burn it all! Right.
I just think that's all I have to do, right? I just announce it. There's no
Yeah,
extend die roll.
that's it. So I will take that off the map for you there. The fort's gone too. And
So the depot's destroyed. So now I get points for Sharpsburg if I can get people back there.
I went ahead and had just assumed that I gave you the 3 points for it. So now Martinsburg and Harper's Ferry, that's your 5 points for those. So you're.
Yeah. Initiative 1. That's definitely yours.
So yes, I activated Slocum and Smith, and they had a +1. They rolled a 1, of course. So we're gonna have extended marches for both. So Slocum first. He's gonna get an extend of +1. Of course, he flips. I don't know why I'm even surprised by these things. I'm not. I'm not surprised. So he's gonna go 1, 2 to there, and Smith has an extend. He will also flip. Surprising to no one on the channel. I'm gonna leave Franklin behind with Couch, and Smith's gonna go 1, 2. Initiative 5.
3. It's yours.
Right. Franklin will activate Slocum and Smith again to 3. Here's their movement +1. Come on, man. Alright, Slocum extended march now with +2. He's okay. 1, 2, and 3 to Brownsville. Stewart can do a cav retreat if he wishes, but I've got no points left.
No, he'll stay put.
Okay. And Franklin will transfer to Smith. And here's his extended march. He's okay. No, he's +2, so he will lose a manpower. Okay. And we have a 3 total, so I'll go 1 to there. Now Stewart has no avenue of retreat, unless he wishes to retreat through somebody.
No, he'll stay put.
Okay. I think it's worth it. So it may cost me later, but yeah, I'm going to make a normal attack here from Franklin and Smith. So here we go. Here's my roll. Wasn't worth it.
I'll do my roll, then let's walk through the numbers again, because I want to make sure I understand.
Sure. It was normal attack, so +0.
Right.
3 to 3 tactical, right?
Yep.
I have a 2 to 1 ratio of 8 to 4.
So that's +1.
Right. And then a +1 because I was I've got you a full flank around you. All 6 hexes are covered, but all of them are going to come off except for the minimum of +1. Let's go through the flanking of that one.
Yeah, I was good.
Sure. Anderson. So let's start with Franklin. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hexes are covered. But most of them are mountain related and impassable hexide, so they're all going to come off. But that you get a minimum of a +1 on a +4 flank. That's the maximum reduction.
I'll just flare the ones that come off. This comes off because I don't have anything to it. This one comes off, and this comes off the same reason.
Right.
This comes off for 2 reasons. I occupied it, and so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 come off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
So I have 2 up and 2 down for a +0, and of course I rolled a 1 because yes.
So here's my roll. It's a 2.
Hey, okay. Well, -1. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but
It's 2 fatigues for me.
okay. But at least I got them in a box. And I am an 8 in there now, so it is a 1D. So I will lose a manpower from that and completely fatigue him out. And so that is a normal Army of Potomac loss, which is 2 points for you.
Lost 1 manpower on that.
I will now roll initiative. It's 1.
I won. Oh, it goes to me anyway. We'll take my claws to fatigue 1. Here's his movement. You can go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Initiative 3,
1.
1. I'm gonna pass.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Do I want to do anything? Slocum is in a good spot at the moment. Definitely got Stewart bottled up. I'm going to move the 6 Pennsylvania. Here's their movement. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Initiative 1.
I will pass because I'll win.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
6 PA. So I presume pass going forward here if you win the initiative.
Yeah, unless you decide to attack somebody.
Right, of course. All right. 6 Pennsylvania gets 11, so they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Initiative. Passing. I will move Trimble out. So he will get a movement of 1. So he will go there. Initiative. This becomes critically important.
2.
Okay.
I get the net.
Would you like the unit?
Yeah, let me think. Take AP Hill to fatigue 3 with Jackson. Here's his movement. 1 die. It's MP of 6. Extend dice. There's a 4. He went to fatigue 3. Exhausted, so that's a +1. So he's actually okay. He's going to go 1 to there. And I'll make the prepared attack on Trimble. So the type will be a +1. Tactical is going to be a +3. The ratio is 10 to 4 for +1. In terms of flanking, this is going to be one of those restricted.
You got all 6 of them.
But 2 come off, right? This one
20.
and this one?
Well, no, you have a road into 24-22 from Jackson, so that one will stay. It's the
so
connection back
this one
to the
comes off.
friendly, right? So it'll be a +3.
Okay.
Yep.
So +3 final flank. So that's 4, 5, 8 +8 for a final with nothing down because I've got artillery covered.
Sure.
+4 to 3. So final
Jackson doing what Jackson does.
Yeah, here we go. Attack die is a 4.
Defense die is unbelievable. Unbelievable, Roger. Come on. 3 DR. 4 DR because I'm a 4/6, so that wipes him out completely. And I just gave you 4 points.
No, it's not over by
No, it's not. It's just I closed that. You had that. You and I were both doing the math of he's within 3 or 4 points of that magic 80, and I just gave you a bump. I can't believe. Gotta stop rolling these ones, man. It's killing. It's literally sucking the life out of me. So, I go to 10.
He will stay where he is.
Okay. So there. So you have 10 manpower losses in points for the non-AOP stuff. With a little help from me.
Okay. Yeah, that does that does help the math a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, right now I got to work harder in Act 2.
But the Parham Hampton problem.
Well, it's only infantry, though. It's not cavalry, right?
For the -4, but the manpower counts. Anyway, here's my net. 4,
2.
2. Yeah, I'm going to continue to pass.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and instead of shoveling more points at you, I'm going to pass as well, and we'll end turn 2. All right, so we will cover turn 2. We will move on. Let me make sure that timing is set to turn 3 here, September 14th. So now we are on par with everything that's going on north of here on the National Road in the South Mountain scenario. We start turn 3 here. What does our score look like? I know you've got it tabulated
Uh,
there. What are our issues for turn 3 and 4 here?
yeah, no, I was just checking now that you brought it up, make sure that my numbers tallied with the losses and things. I've got Harper's Ferry Depot destroyed for 3, Martinsburg Depot destroyed for 2. I've suffered 1 manpower loss for -2. I've got you for 2, which I think that matches your AOP losses. So that's 2 losses there is 4 points for
So
me.
+2 in your favor on that. Okay.
And then for non-AOP losses, I've got 10 and you have 10. So adding that up, right now I'm at 17 points. Not where I need to be. Obviously, I have to get to 80. And just kind of looking at the board here, I get 8 points if I get all. I've got 8 infantry units, divisions, and brigades. I get them all, I can get 64 points, which again is not enough to win to get to Sharpsburg. So I've got, and I have a really serious problem with Parham. If you just hold him there, that's -4 points because I also have to have guys in supply. So that would be a -4. Plus, I don't get the +8. So, and if you attack and destroy him, which he has no retreat out of there,
Right.
that's another -4. Plus, Hampton would go. That's another -4. So this could be a quick, short mini session we have.
I'm curious about that. Yeah, and I mean, and just based on the current situation, Anderson is also not in supply because my Zoc is
Correct.
cast into battle.
Correct.
So, but we presume he's going to move. Yeah.
Yeah. Anderson will also be another -4. So yeah, Franklin I think has kind of done historically. You did not do what Franklin should have done, which is sit outside Crampton's Gap and moan about how he didn't have enough men. He said, "You attacked me."
I did, but
only.
but it failed, and so did my other huge. All my combats thus far have been horrible. So guess what I'm not doing from here on out? I'm not going to
Well,
tempt fate.
I guess just from a numbers perspective, if you were looking, you don't have to at this point.
Exactly.
I still have to be aggressive, even if I take out Ward and Detassi down there.
Right.
Is not enough to get me to the magic
It's 3 more
victory
points,
point
right?
number,
Or 4 more points. Yeah.
It's 4 more points, but that's not enough. Even if I get all 8 of my guys back,
That's
I
right.
still have to be aggressive here. My failure to get the Harper's Ferry surrender on turn 1, which was my whole gambit, puts me in a box. I knew when I was looking at this before we started that I knew was at least what I saw was a tough road to hoe. I'd be interested to see how you play the Confederate side. I just feel like I'm missing something here.
Well, to be sure, the numbers are extremely tight. You've got to get 64 points. You've got to hit and fade. That's, 8 divisions, 8 points, 64 points. You've got to theoretically get all 10, 10, 11, 14 points for everybody that's in. But it looks like the numbers that would put you over the top are Ford, as you were saying. You had McLaws there trapping him briefly, and then McLaws pulled back. Now the question is, do you go aggressive like you were just saying, and try to get some manpower losses on me to help, or do you mount a rescue operation for Parham, right?
Yeah.
So either one of those come at a significant risk, and
Yeah, well, this boils down to another aspect of our playing, which is I have a tendency to look at this as pretty binary. I win or I lose. I don't look at marginal versus substantive, marginal loss versus substantive. I pretty much am prepared to say I'm either going to win or lose.
Right.
So I'll gamble on the loss. And if we were, of course, playing in a tournament or a multiplayer where there's multi people playing, we're all on a team. I probably at this point would be thinking, okay, I want to keep this to a union marginal.
Right. And it seems like
Um,
the union can win a marginal by being fairly conservative. If they want to go for
yes,
substantive or decisive, they have to
they could.
really put the screws to the weaker
Yeah,
units there. But that's not my play style.
yeah, yeah. But so anyway, this has been. I thought this would be really interesting, and it has been. This is one I almost feel like we'll replay it when we switch sides, but I'll keep this in mind when somebody's asking me about a scenario they'd like to play. I might pop this up and say, let's
Yeah.
try this again.
Yeah, it's really tight and it has impressed me, but I'm just kind of kicking myself that I wish I had managed to figure out a way to block Walker from coming across the Shenandoah somehow. But
Yeah, that was worried. That was one I was worried about getting
right.
him back. When I failed to get your guys to the failure to get the surrender.
Yeah, if I had managed, if I was thinking smart, I would have, instead of preparing a fine banquet for Jackson with the unit that you just completely wiped out, I would have gone down through the woods there, through the restricted zoc, and parked him at 2223 instead of at Halltown. Then at least the fight would have been worth something. You would have had to come and force him out of there for some reason, rather than me just giving you 4 victory points. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's a big ouchie for me on this one. I won't do that again in the future. I say that, and then of course I completely do that again. So leader transfers. I am going to. Yes. Whom do I wish? Do I wish to move Franklin here or here? Hmm. I'm going to move Franklin down to couch,
Okay.
and that's it.
Well, I'd love to move Jackson to McClaws, but I was desperately looking to see. Now, can Jackson transfer to a long street? No, he can't. He's got to
Sadly,
stay in
no. Yeah.
Jackson's guys. DH Hill, I
DH
think,
Hill,
is
of course, right? Yeah, the halvesies, right?
but DH Hill is up there at Fox's Gap, Turner's Gap area. So yeah, Jackson might as well stay where he is for now.
Okay.
So I don't have any leader transfers.
Okay. Well, as you pointed out in our offline chat, a couple of initiatives here could make all the difference for this one. All right, so let's do our initiative. Here we go. Here's mine. Two.
Okay, here's mine. Two.
There you
Okay,
go.
well, you mentioned rescue operation, and that I think is what I have to do. So McClaw's to fatigue one. Here's his movement. It's a 5, so he has a movement of 6. So he's going to go 1 to Barlow's Mill, which means he has 5 remaining. What would the 6 PA like to do?
Yeah. So if I rolled a six, a natural six, that would reduce three, and that would force you to do a normal attack.
I'm always confused. Is a 1?
Well, one is a -2, so that would bring a six down to a four.
Which would
So
bring me down to a 3 remaining. Yeah.
yeah, I but the other side of this, the swing side, is I roll a
Could
one,
roll 1.
then I lose two more victory points, and I cannot
Yeah.
afford to do that. So I'm gonna make you earn it. We're gonna stay there and bolster Slocum's flank.
Okay. So you're staying. So I'm going to make a prepared attack on Slocum and the 6 PA. So that means the type is a +1. I do have a tactical of a +1. Okay, the final flank. I've actually pulled this up so I can walk my head through this.
Sure.
I have all 6 hexes covered because 2816 is a mountain hex. So I start with a +4,
Mm-hmm.
but the 2816 hex, this one does come off because you don't have a road into it.
Correct.
So the final flank is a +3.
That is right.
And artillery, I have 2 guns to your 4, which is a -2 in rough terrain. So you get to roll for your artillery.
Okay. So on an even roll, I will use my artillery, and I do.
It is. So it's a -1 on the artillery. So the final is 5 up and 1 down for a +4 attack.
Okay.
So here's my attack roll. 5.
Here's my defense. 4.
4
So that is a
+5.
+5. Yep.
That's what I needed, I think.
+5, and I've got 8 in there total. So I'm going to lose 2 DR.
Yes.
Well, that took a turn. So 2 DR for Army of Potomac. I will get rid of the 6 PA completely for 1, and we'll drop Slocum down by 1, and he will get 3 fatigues. 1, 2, 3, and he goes 1, 2, 3, and 4 to there.
For me, it was a +5 or 4? 5. I avoided the fatigue. Good. It's just an EA for me. So I live to continue. Initiative. I'm staying there.
Okay.
6.
4.
4. I really wish I had a leader up there to activate all those guys at once, but I do not. So we're going to have to do this in chunks. So we're going to do Parham first. 1 die +1 is 6. Well, I'm going to have to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. Initiative 3,
1.
1. Okay. Take Anderson next. I'm sure there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, but 1 die +1, 3. He can go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to Royersville. Initiative 3.
3.
Wow, the initiatives are coming my way. Do you want me to roll again?
No,
Should I
that's
roll?
fine.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled 2 die. He got a 5 and a 4 for 9, so which is 11 total movement point. And he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. He's gonna stop.
Okay.
Here's my initiative roll. 3.
Hey,
That's yours.
I had the initiative. All right.
Okay.
Let me think a moment here what I need to do. Oh, so many things to do. So little time. All right. So I will have Franklin activate Smith and Couch. Here is a +1 to their roll. Smith has an extended march. I'll go first. Here's his extend of +1. He's okay. 1, 2, and 3. And then Franklin and Couch. Shortest distance and all that, so they'll just go 1, 2, and 3 to Burkittsville. Initiative 3.
3. It's mine. We'll take Parham to fatigue 2. Here's his movement. He can go 3. Here's his extended die roll. He's okay. You can go 1, 2.
Nope. That's a hill, so he's got to stop at 2015.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Because I'm throwing a Zoc in there now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Act 2 is the Zoc Act, apparently.
Okay. So you have a Zoc in the 2814 as well.
Yep, and 2813.
2813. Okay. Okie dokie. Initiative roll.
All right.
2.
3.
3.
Gonna move to Tassie. He's gonna go to fatigue level 2. Here's his movement 4. And extended march of +1. He's gonna lose a manpower.
Is he at +2 since he's Union and not?
Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, he'd go all the way up to 7, but I think that's still just a -1 manpower. You are correct, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I always forget those guys.
Yeah, me too. So 4 then. Well, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Initiative 5.
3, yours again.
There's just no really good attacks. I mean, there are and there aren't, but nothing that's not going to drive you closer. Yeah, I'm going to activate Ford. Here's his march of 6. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 5.
5. We'll take McClaw's to fatigue 2. Here's his movement. He has a 6. He's just going to go 1 to there. He'll have to stop. Since he went Zoc to Zoc, he can't attack. Knit 5.
2.
2. Take McClaw's to fatigue 3. Here's his movement. 7. Once again, he can only go 1 hex to there. Again, Zoc to Zoc, he cannot attack. Here's his extended die roll anyway. And he's okay. Initiative 4.
1.
1. Okay, we'll take McClaw's to fatigue 4. Here's his movement. 7. Here's his extended die roll +1. He flips. He's just going to go 1 hex to there. Initiative 4.
4.
4. Take Param to fatigue 3. It's his movement. 1 die +1. He can go 5. Here's his extend die roll +1. He flips. He can go 5 hexes. Now Ford is in a mountain hex, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So Param can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative 2,
4.
4. It's yours.
Couch will go to 2. Franklin will activate him. Here's his movement. 3. Here's his extended march. Wait for it. Oh, I'm stunned. All right. He'll go 1, 2 to there. What would Stuart like to do?
He will cav retreat. Increases his fatigue. Here's the attempt. It's a 3.
So he's a normal size, right? He's a 2. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just a straight up roll. So I lose
Yeah.
1.
He has to go away. So it's 1, 2 to there, 3 to there. I think his 4th hex has to continue to be further away, right? So he's got to go to Sandy Hook.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now the last 2 he can go wherever he wants, I believe.
As long as he can avoid my Zoc, but he can't avoid my Zoc. So any option beyond that, yep.
He could go there, 5. Yeah. He'll stop there, I guess.
Okay. Franklin has his last movement point screened, so he will stop there. Here's the next initiative. 1.
1. We'll take Anderson to fatigue 2. He's just going to do a min move on top of McClaw's. Initiative 1 again. 3 ones in a row.
4. Slocum will go to 4. He will get a movement of 3, and he will have a +4 to this die roll. And he will lose a manpower.
You rolled a 3, right, for movement?
I did.
So that'd be a 4 for movement.
No, because he's straight up. He doesn't have leadership nearby.
Oh, Slocum. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I was looking at Smith.
yeah. So he's gonna go 1, 2 to there. Initiative 3.
3. We'll take Kershaw to fatigue 1. Here's his movement. 1 die plus 1. You can go 4 hexes. What would the 8th New York Cav like to do?
Grr. You were just. Uh, you know what? I might as well. I might as well tempt the 16% because it's going swimmingly thus far. So I will do a cav retreat. They'll come out of their entrenchments. They'll get a fatigue and they'll flip. And they are very small, but they're in the mountains, so this offsets. Are not very small. They're small, -2, and then +2 for the mountain. So here's their roll. Hey, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, and they'll stop.
So that's since I was in a mountain hex as well, I lose 3 movement, means I only have 1 movement point. So they'll just go 1 to there. Initiative 6.
Actually, you had 2 movement points because it was 2.5 because I was a small force -1, -2 rather,
Oh, oh,
and then a +1. So it was a net -1 to my roll. So it was a 5 cut in half. So you should have 2 movement points.
okay, he goes there. Okay.
Okay, and that was your initiative roll. So here's
Yeah,
mine.
for 6, yeah.
Go ahead.
Take Kershaw to fatigue 2. Here's his movement. 7. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. He has 2 movement points remaining. What would the 8th New York like to do?
Let's see. I'm in a mountain, but now you're 12 times my size, so look at you hunting. All right. They'll attempt another retreat. Here's the roll. Another 6. So 6. So it's -4, +2. So -2 to the roll. So it's a 4. So cut in half, you'll lose 2 movement points, and they'll go
Yeah, he's
1,
done.
2, 3, 4. I'll go 5 to there. Yeah, he's the same distance. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Kershaw's done. Enid. 1.
2.
It's yours.
I'm gonna have Ford move again. So Ford will go movement of 1. So he'll just go there. Initiative 1.
6. It's mine. Stuart did a cav retreat. I forgot to flip him. And I'm taking him to fatigue 3. Hampton. So here's his movement roll. First die. Second die. 7 plus 2 is 9 movement points.
And Stuart add 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a plus 3.
Yep, he is +3.
Okay, I thought he was, so it's plus 10. Here's his extend die roll. Potential losing a manpower here. And he does. He loses a man. Which means he's not going to try and attack. Because 1, 2, I leave him with 8. No, he's not going to try that.
Yeah, there's a mountain and a creek there apparently.
Yeah, it's not worth that for sure. So without the ratio, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to there. Initiative 6.
1.
It's mine. Activate Lawton. Here's his movement, 1 die plus 1. He can go all 2 hexes. He is going to make a column of route attack against Ward. So it's 7 to a half, which is 14 to 1. So it's plus 13, plus 2 for tactical, which is 15, minus 3 for column of route is a final of a plus 12.
Okay.
So here's
I don't think we need to roll, do we?
what's the best that could happen.
Let's see, plus 12, 13 to 6, so plus 7 would still be a 1 DR.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you got him. So I will
Yeah.
delete that and give you another railroad point. So you're now at 11 for those.
Okay. And he has 2 movement points since I used column of route, so no movement points were used. He's going to go 1, 2 to there. Initiative 6 again. That'll be
5.
mine, yeah. Let's take Sims to fatigue 2. You'll need extended die roll. Again, he can't be activated by Jackson, so it's just plus 1. He can go 6. Extended die roll. He's okay. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to Parm. He'll join them. Initiative 4.
5.
It's yours.
Okay. We'll activate Couch with Franklin. Here's his movement, plus 1. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, here's the vain attempt for an extended march, plus 2. Yeah. Well.
Ouch.
Oh, Roger, you know how this works. Okay. So we're gonna flip, and we'll just get our 2 measly. So I can't even do what I want to do there. I'll just go there. Just prepare for the future. Since now you've got a straight shot with everybody else. Initiative 5.
6. Okay. Take the 7th VA. Take 1. Is there a roll? 2 dice. He can go 6 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total per crossroads. Initiative 4.
1.
Okay. We'll activate the 7th VA with Stewart, so it's going to be a plus 3 to this 2 dice. 1, 2, 6, 9. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Initiative 1.
6.
It's yours.
We'll activate Ford again. There's their movement. Yep, it's a 1. So we'll just go there. Extended march for them. They're flipping. Initiative 2.
3, that's mine. So we'll take Walker to fatigue 2, which is movement plus 1. 5, extend die roll. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Initiative 3. It's
6.
yours.
It seems like all I'm doing here is digging a hole, so I'm going to pass.
Okay. I'll take Lawton. No, I'll take Walker to fatigue 3. Here's his movement. 1 die plus 1. 4. Extended die roll plus 1, I think, yeah. He'll go 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4 to Mount Pleasant. Initiative 5.
1.
Okay. Take Lawton to fatigue 2. His movement. He can go 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 2.
5. I'll move Jutassi to fatigue level 3. Here's their movement. 4. Here's their extended march of plus 3. Gonna lose manpower. Oops. And he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative 6.
It's yours.
Okay. Gonna march Jutassi again. Jutassi to 4. Here's his movement. 2. Here's his extend march plus 5. Gonna march himself to death.
Yeah, that saved you a point. That was smart.
Well,
A couple points, actually.
so he gone, and we'll delete him. Initiative 6.
It's yours.
I'll pass.
Jackson will activate Hill and Jones. 1 for both of them. Here's their movement. 1 die plus 2. I can go 5 hexes. Well, the shortest route home for these guys is going to be this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative 5.
5.
5. Take Lawton to fatigue 3. Here's his movement. 1 die plus 1. Go 3. Extended march. He's okay. 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 4.
1.
Okay. I'm going to pass.
I'm gonna pass as well.
Okay.
All right. We'll recover. That was quite a turning point. You managed to make up a lot of lost ground on that one, so good job.
Yeah, the inits
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what I needed to have. I was looking at going, the inits went the other way, it'd be...
Yeah. Yeah. And then my movement was just completely abysmal, but
Oh,
I'm used
yeah.
to that. That's fine. So final turn then. Let's plug in numbers again. So I'm looking at you got 5 for the 2 depots. You've got a plus 6 on the straight up manpower losses, and then you've got 11 points for the low hanging fruit with the railroad guys. So it's 17, 22, and presuming you get everybody back, then that is 86 points.
86 points, yeah.
Okay. So I have to do everything in my power, to cut off at least 1, maybe 2. But I have to do it without losing manpower. So that is going to be tricky. Thoughts on this one? I mean, you're clearly on a race for home, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I got real lucky on turn 3. So yeah, now I just have to fall back. And you're not allowed, which I think is an interesting twist, you're not allowed to cross that blue line there,
Nope.
Sharpsburg.
Nope. So I have really 1 hex that I can use to my advantage, but it's a matter of, I don't think that I can completely cut you off, but I can make it really hard for you. And then if I'm willing to take some risks and attack you the right way, then I can shut you down. But I can't route you. I have to. Well, even a retreat, you could go up to 4 hexes. So any of those.
If you give me a route, the number I don't get 8, I only get 2.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So a route would, like, let's say I get 6, and only you can route 2 of my guys. Now I'm at 74 points.
Right.
If it's 7 and 1, I'm right at 80 with no manpower differential.
Right. So if I can bring the manpower a little closer, but I really just need to cut off 1, because
if you
the
cut
loss
off 1
of 1
completely
is really a 12-point swing, because it's 8 and a -4. So
Yep.
So I need to do that.
And that's why
But
I
McCall,
chose to leave Jones and Hill and let them recover rather than push them
right.
closer. Is I have a strike force that you really can't easily cut off. I don't believe, and I just have to get to Sharpsburg. I believe I
Just
don't have
one,
a
you
long.
have to be one hex adjacent to start
Yeah, one
Sharpsburg.
hex adjacent.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's going to come down to initiative, but in this turn three, McClaws was clutch. I mean, he came down
yes,
and he managed to break open the gap, which,
yeah,
how can I? The dice hate me. So
yeah, yeah. They really did tonight. They really did up to this point. I'm not saying that. I mean, you still have.
I got a chance. It's
Uh,
it's it's
yeah,
very slim. If you get the early initiative, yeah, then I mean, it literally is going to come down to initiative because I don't think I can do what I need to do unless I get the first initiative because of the roadway networks. Um, so
unfortunately, without a commander there, getting those guys, Kershaw, Anderson, and McClaws. That's going to be something of a trick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
I mean,
you got a couple of
if I,
options. You do have some
yeah,
ways, but uh,
I got to do it one at a time. It's like one,
right,
somebody's going to be left hanging.
right. So let's do our leader transfers. Or turn. Oh, let me put on turn four, final turn, September 15th. So South Mountain is complete, and now Franklin has a moment. He has a moment here to be a hero. This is edge of your seat kind of stuff for me because 12-point swing is huge.
Yeah,
Uh,
12 point would definitely change the.
all right. Uh, so we are driving on the 2 minutes here, last four quarters. I'm going to move Franklin to Smith, and that is it.
I'll leave Jackson where he is.
All right. So the all important first initiative. Here we go.
Three, it's mine.
There you go.
Well, not yet. Like I said, I can't move all these guys at once. Okay, we'll take Anderson to fatigue one. I'll roll for movement. It's +1. Go 7 hexes. He's just gonna get to go 1 hex to there because it would be 5 hexes to go up the hill, and that at least takes out that flank spot from McClaws. Initiative 2,
One.
1. Okay.
I'm gonna do a ritual cleansing of the die roller here. I'm gonna burn some sage. I'm gonna just hold my finger on F1 for about 10 minutes and just flush it out.
Okay, if I will take McClaws to fatigue 2, I think he's the next guy. Here's his movement, 1 die +1. Doesn't matter, so he's just gonna do the same. And here's his extend die roll. 2, he's okay. He's just gonna go to Anderson's hex. Initiative 6.
Three.
Okay, I'm gonna take Kershaw to fatigue 1. Here's his movement. Can move 3 hexes. Or he could do a min move to there, which is what he's going to do because that blocks the road 2716, 2815. So you're going to have to move up into that position. So I'll just do that. Initiative 6. That'll be mine again. And it's just playing right what I need. Jackson will activate J.R. Jones and AP Hill. Die +2. Wow. That's J.R. Jones is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to there. Jackson Hill will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to there. Initiative 1. It's yours.
You know, vain attempt here. We're going to march forward. I'm going to move him with a roll of 2. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Come on. It's like you guys have never marched before. Go 1, 2. Initiative 4.
4. It's mine. Take Kershaw to fatigue 2. Resist movement. You can go 5, which is exactly what he's going to do. 1 back to there. Initiative 6.
Keep going.
Yeah. Take Kershaw to fatigue 3. Here's his movement. 1 die plus 1. Go 5. Extend die roll. 5. He's okay. So he's going to go 1 to there. 2, 3, 4 to there. 5 to there. Initiative 5.
Keep going.
Take Anderson to fatigue 2. Here's his movement. Wow, nice.
Oh, okay. All right. We can. we're just killing me by 1,000 paper cuts here. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, you got it. You got them all there. It's cool. There's no way I can stop you now. I'm just not. It's just it's. Yeah.
I think you still have a shot at the
No,
claws,
no,
but
no. The only thing I could do is I can move Franklin up there and try to make a pitiful assault, and I already know how that's gonna work out. It's gonna get my hopes up, and it's gonna dash him on a 1-6, and I'm not doing that. Nope, 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 nope. We're just gonna. You got this one. Well done.
you know, again, I'd love to say I had great strategy, but when the nits and the movement goes my way like they did, it's
Everybody, pay attention to the die roller. Watch. I'm flushing it. I'm just flushing it. And I'm flushing it with all of these. I'm just throwing billions of numbers in because there you go. There's another roll for me. And there's another roll for me. There you go. Okay. So, great scenario. Love it. But it's to me, in this case, this one was actually dicier. I mean, significantly dicier heavy wise than South Mountain was. South Mountain can just, of course, break. You get a 3 or 4 strings in a row. Confederate, they get in place, and they can deny a Union victory. This one was just agonizing because it's like I just need one. It's like
yeah,
Doctor Strange
yeah.
holding up the finger. I just need one reality to come to be, and I can't get it. So I mean, so if we're doing the after action here, first of all, congratulations. That was very, very
Thank you.
good. You got all the pieces in play, and I think officially now 86 points is, what is that, Confederate substantive marginal?
No, I'm still marginal.
Okay. But still, that is a W.
Confederate marginal.
That's a W where I come from, and I think the fact that it can come down to a 12-point swing there at the end. So all I needed, and for the folks Roger and I are already aware of this, but some of you may have seen it. If I could have just gotten Slocum there, if
Yeah.
that's if sub 1, if sub 2 was if I could have gotten a couple of decent once. What I was trying to do, and I think everybody saw that, was I was just trying to let me do my drawing tools. Trying to move forward down through here to be a little pain in the ass here, but ultimately there was no way to prevent this. I thought you using this hex right here to put Kershaw in was just that was wonderful. When you put him into that hill hex and just guarded the roads to prevent me from, I was going to move Couch down through Brownsville, come up and then try to make a run
Yeah.
along either one of those, because I figured keep him in a box, as you've heard time and again, folks. And you saw, the beginning of turn 3, I was sitting on a cloud at Brownsville Gap. I had Burkittsville blocked. I had Brownsville blocked. and McClaws for the win, man. He was your clutch MVP
Yeah,
tonight with that. He got the six coming down off the mountain. He rolled down off the mountain. He had a flank, and he took poor Slocum to task and routed him away. And that was it. That was the moment.
I it helped a lot that I don't know if you're going to put the two together, the two scenarios. We did have a day gap, so
Oh
I had
yeah, yeah,
time yesterday
yeah. It'd be
to
seamless.
look at the situation, and it kind of like jumped out at me that I had really I had just when I sat down with my spreadsheet and plugged numbers in. If you had got Parham, destroyed him, well, along with Stewart and Hampton, it would have been a game over. There would have been no way for me to have won because it's a -8. I like this scenario. It's a complicated one. I didn't think I'd have to break out a spreadsheet until I actually started looking at it before we started, and I realized it was there's a lot of moving, having to go down here to Harper's Ferry and then get back here
Right.
in 4 turns.
So
Um,
I'm breaking out my original copy of Here Come the Rebels, and I'm pulling up this scenario because I am curious.
it's a very different VP table, you'll find.
Yes. So 4 points for Harper's Ferry, one for Martinsburg, and then 1 point for each adjacent. So it's a significantly smaller. I mean, it's only between 16 and -3 or less. So yeah, they added a substantial amount of points as far as that, and it looks like the manpower is a positive for the surrendered units. And it's +1 -1 for manpower losses. So they obviously took a mathematical bent to this when they recalculated and tweaked it for Here Come the Rebels too. And I really like this. I just wish I could have given you something better than solo play on this one because it
Yeah,
really.
the Nits, it did come down to that really. The Nits went my way, and I had some really nice battle rolls too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm putting those up right now because that's one of the things I like to do for anything where we have more than just say the South Mountain battles where it was just kind of one or two. If we have a string of them of at least 5 or 6, I will reflect them at the end of the video here because they were significant. Yeah, they definitely a turning point because if I wasn't able to inflict any damage to you, I was digging the hole for myself. And with that victory point schedule being as tight as it is, you got some great attacks. You got a couple of well, we both offset on a one loss for a cavalry retreat, I believe,
Yeah,
and so that kind of offset. But once you got the Army of Potomac losses from the 1-1 to a 4-1,
yep.
that was it. Yeah.
That gave me a little buffer because
Yes, it
at
did.
that point I didn't have a buffer. I mean, I was if it turned out like this without if you just got in a retreat, we're talking a turns out to a 1. Yeah, it's 82, and it's even tighter. I mean, if I
It is
lose one
tighter.
manpower, then it's
And with the 4 points that I presented you as a gift there with the railroad unit
oh
foolishly coming out of the trenches and walking away. So, yeah, there are some key moments here if we're doing the full Monday morning quarterback. For players playing this, as Roger noticed when I marched to Tassie to death, don't be afraid of a small gamey tactic, which is look, I'm going to commit ritual suicide, and I'm going to march them without boots until there's nothing they can do anymore. And I prevented him from getting, what, 2 or 3 more points? The Ward, unfortunately, he was a 3 originally, and then today, or on turn 3, he was a 2. And then I think, no, he might have been a 3. So I lost a manpower, and then I lost it. Yeah, so I think I marched all 3 of them off.
yeah.
So that was 3 more points that I prevented. But Ward, that was great where you did that with Lawton, just you smacked him, just like
Oh yeah,
get out of
I
the
was
way.
not having a leader. Boy, that I mean, the string of this there is what saved me
Right.
because I didn't leave anybody behind. I still think you could have played this out with McClaws.
Uh, yeah. So what I would have. So let's put McClaws where he got to, and just knowing what we know,
Yeah,
the goal was originally the goal was to you I think astutely had it. So when they were here, I wanted to get Franklin and Slocum and or not Slocum, but Smith and Couch up on the hill. If I attack you here, then you've got the one, two, potentially if it's a small retreat, three and four. I'm just throwing you into the briar patch where you want to be. So I would need a route, and that was hopefully 6 points. But the chances of me doing damage to myself there with 15 to 6, I could have tried it, but you just get to a point where that CRT is it's exhausting. It really is for me because I know the limitations of it already. Sometimes I go in with these really this is a great attack, and it says here have a one, and it's after two or three of those in any scenario. It's like I am loath to give you more points by doing
Yeah.
that, and at 2 points per, it's just it has to go perfectly, and without McClellan again to really have, and unfortunately I don't. Slocum would not help with a flank there, so there was no way I could block you significantly, and there was no way I could generate a really good flank outside of the mountains. And even when I did have those, I was already gun shy at this point. That was a great job with this scenario. We're going to switch sides next week and see if I can do as well. I think I know what the answer to that is because you're quite adept at this, sir.
Well,
You managed to pull some clutch moves out of nothing, and you constantly surprise me, which is always a lot of fun.
well, that's kind of because I'm not very experienced, so I'm doing things you're not. An experienced player would never do
No,
that.
no, 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 no. I think after 2 years now, we can say you're an experienced player,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
you're making fewer mistakes than I am, which is always the key to victory.
Um,
And don't send me good generals.
well,
Send me lucky generals, right?
that's true. Yeah, and I've been really lucky here. I've had a streak of luck, so the worm will turn, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. The die roller is what the die roller is, and it's just you cannot hitch all your hopes on I've got to have the next. If you've done that, which I do time and time again, I make that mistake. If I put everything on me getting the very next initiative, mentally it's just going to crush you because you're not going to get it. Mentally,
Yeah.
your brain waves come out and it goes all the way off to the Vassal server, and the Vassal server says, "Haha, you fool," and it sends back the one. That's why the mute button is here. It works really, really well. We hope you've enjoyed this wonderful Harper's Ferry and Crampton's Gap scenario number 2, and we will be back next week with a reversal of sides. But take a moment now, click that like and subscribe button here on the YouTube, and that notification bell will let you know when I drop these. And right now I'm showing you our current supporters for the channel, so we thank you supporters very, very much. And if you are inclined, there's a link there. If you'd like to chip in and buy us a cup of coffee, that's awesome. We'll be back next week. I'm going to get this all cleaned up and ready to go. So, Roger, thank you for making the time for this two-parter piece, and we will see you all here next week.
Bye bye.
All right, take care.